Hey, my friends, welcome to the Dallas Daily Show. Today's topic is Life Ain't a Movie Montage. All right, let's get into the conversation. So, just recently, I was talking with my boys. They were watching Creed 1, Creed 2, and then my youngest was like, I haven't seen any of the Creed movies yet. And we were like, oh, we should watch these. And I said, however, guys, I'm going to make you watch the Rocky movies. And in my own mind, right, I started playing out, this is why they're awesome. And the music would start bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. It's the eye of the tiger, right? It was dun, dun, dun. And we'd watch Rocky and he'd go in there and he'd be punching the big old slabs of meat and he'd be running up the steps in Philadelphia, holding up his arms. He'd be doing all the things. And it seemed like within 3 to 4 minutes of film time, he covered weeks of transformation and he gets ready for the final bout. I think we've adopted a montage paradigm when it comes to self-development. So if you've ever said to yourself something along the lines of, I just need to start again Monday, or man, New Year's is coming, right? I'm going to cut out the fat, cut out the sugar, do the done, dun, 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 boop, boop, dun, 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 right? If you've done any of that, Rocky boxing the meat, Daniel in Karate Kid, wax on, wax off, painting waxing the cars, painting the thing for Mr. Miyagi. Legally Blonde, right? When Elle is like cramming for her LSATs. That's funny. Um, and it's all happening to upbeat music. Life doesn't actually happen that way, right? See, there's this thing we've been taught in movies is progress happens fast as long as you're willing to suffer through a short 3-minute sprint. And we see programmatically, and I would dare say programmatically and problematically. How about that for some new words for today? We see because of this pop culture way of doing things is we go, it's New Year's. I'm going to snap back into shape, cut to the Rocky Q music. But then we're hurting, right? The gym hurts. Planning the meals sucks. All the things start occurring. And we're like, oh, this is not actually a 2-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute montage transformation set to the greatest 80s rock music of our day. All right, that's not usually what it is. A montage works in film because it cuts out the hard parts. But in our lives, we live the hard parts. See, that's the difference right there. I talk about this sometimes in some of my keynotes of even that life is a movie. It's moving pictures. And a lot of times people will snapshot on just a photograph of you and they'll get one image or one frame and they'll judge you based on that one frame. They haven't paid attention to the entire moving picture that is your life. But what happens for us specifically is we think of it more like a sports highlight reel. Man, where's my ESPN reel? Where's my montage? We don't think of the fact, when a Hall of Fame quarterback is getting 3 highlight throws on ESPN, there were probably 50, 60, 70 throws before that in the game that happened, or the 40 handoffs and things that he did, right? How many snaps did they take to get those 3 highlights? And then how many snaps in practice did they take? None of us think about the fact that there is a lot of work behind the highlight reel. There is a lot in order to get to the progress of the montage. There is a lot of slaving away in the game. That is what we have to start thinking about. If we start thinking about who we want to become, the future version of us, when we start going into that place, we have to understand growth isn't just about behavior in the short term. It's about identity in the long term, right? The montage is just the external effort highlight reel. But when we start thinking about the future us we want to become, there has to be an internal alignment, there has to be an identity-based action, and there has to be consistent work toward it through the pain, through the shame, through the game, all of the things. That's how it works. A montage is just fantasy, but you are forming a future. Does that make sense? I don't really have much more to say with that other than a challenge for you. What are some of the things that you keep bugging out on them simply because it isn't sexy work? simply because it's not cinematic in nature, right? It ain't sexy. It ain't cinematic. Matter of fact, it's downright ugh. But it's got to be real. It's got to be repeatable. What does it look like for you to have the long-term mentality and not just the montage mentality when it comes to your life, right? Now, sure, you may want to put some music to your days. You want to maybe put some music to your gym time. You might want to put some music to all of the goodness that you're experiencing in your relationship or the growth. But we do that in memory. We're like, oh, highlight reel, highlight reel, highlight reel in the memory. But in our present reality, we have to persist through the pain. We have to persist in the game. We have to persist on a day in, day out basis to make the past thinking a montage. Does that make sense? So you can't live the montage going forward. You can only live the montage in your mind backwards of the amazing memories and the progress you've attained. You can do that in meditation and imagination and go, man, look how far I've come. Boom, highlight reel, boom, highlight reel, boom, highlight reel, bum, 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 highlight reel, bum, bum, highlight reel. But in the moment, you don't live the highlight reel. In the moment, you stayed anchored to the future you, and you realize that's the version you're becoming. And no matter the daily steps, you are constantly transforming into that person. So the montage happens in reverse, my friend. But when you're looking forward and moving through it, or should I say moving to it, that's where you keep the mindset. That's where you keep the focus on future you. So that's it, my friend. That's all I got for you today. Think about the montage of how far you've come. Think about where you were a year, 2, 3 years ago, and just give yourself a little, oh yeah, highlight reel. Hit that Rocky music. However, now start to commit to what will the daily repeatable actions be that are going to get me to the future me that I most desire to be. All right, my friends, that's it. Go out there. Have a championship day.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to dallasdailyshow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.